There is something you told someone, and you regret it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It might have been a dream you shared too early, a plan you announced before it was ready, a feeling you revealed to the wrong person, a secret you trusted someone with and watched them use it against you later. And the worst part? Nobody warned you. Nobody sat you down and said, "There are things you should never say out loud, not because they're shameful, but because the moment you speak them, you lose something you can never get back." What did you lose? And how do you make sure it never happens again? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share has been known by the wisest minds in human history, and almost nobody talks about it. We live in the most oversharing era in human history. Every thought posted, every feeling captioned, every plan announced, every struggle broadcast to hundreds of people who didn't ask and won't remember. And we do it because it feels good. Sharing releases dopamine. Telling someone your goal gives you a small hit of the satisfaction you'd get from actually achieving it. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between doing the thing and talking about the thing. So you get the reward without doing the work, and then wonder why the motivation disappears. But that's just the surface problem. The deeper problem is this: every time you share something prematurely, a goal, a wound, a secret, a plan, you hand someone else power over something that was yours. And people, even the ones who love you, don't always handle that power carefully. They project their own fears onto your dreams. They give you advice shaped by their limitations, not your potential. They remember the version of you that struggled long after you've moved past it. They share what you told them in confidence, not always out of malice, but simply because humans talk, because your private life becomes their interesting story. And sometimes, the people closest to you are the ones most threatened by your growth. And the information you gave them becomes a quiet weapon. There was a philosopher who understood this better than almost anyone. A man who lived through betrayal, exile, and the collapse of everything he built, and came out the other side with a map for exactly what to protect, exactly what to guard, and exactly what to never, under any circumstances, say out loud. Picture a man sitting in a cold stone cell, knowing he is going to die in the morning, not for a crime, not for violence, but for words, for things he said, for ideas he shared in public that the wrong people heard and decided were dangerous. His name was Boethius, philosopher, statesman, one of the most brilliant minds of the 6th century. He had it all: wealth, power, the ear of kings, a reputation that spanned the known world. And then, with one political accusation, one set of words twisted and weaponized by enemies, it was gone, all of it. In that cell, waiting for execution, he wrote one of the most profound books in the history of Western philosophy, The Consolation of Philosophy, a meditation on fortune, wisdom, and what it means to truly possess something, versus merely holding it temporarily. And the question he kept returning to was this: what could no one ever take from me? Not his wealth, that was gone. Not his reputation, destroyed. Not his freedom, stripped away. What remained in that cold cell with death approaching was only what he had never given away: his values, his mind, his inner world, the parts of himself he had kept private, protected, and sovereign. He understood, too late for his own life, but not too late for ours, that the things you guard most carefully are the things that last. And the things most worth guarding are not objects. They are words you chose not to speak. Across Stoic philosophy, ancient Eastern thought, and the wisdom traditions of every major civilization, one principle appears again and again. The wise person treats their inner world like a fortress, and they are very careful about who they let through the gate. This isn't paranoia. It isn't distrust. It's discernment. The ancient philosophers called it prudentia, practical wisdom, the ability to know not just what to do, but what to say, when to say it, and crucially, what to never say at all. Seneca wrote, "Retire into yourself as much as you can." He wasn't prescribing isolation. He was prescribing sovereignty, the understanding that your interior life, your dreams, your wounds, your plans, your doubts is the most valuable territory you own, and every time you share it carelessly, you cede ground you may not recover. Marcus Aurelius kept his deepest thoughts in a journal no one was ever meant to read, not because he was secretive, but because he understood that some things need to be protected from the noise of other people's opinions in order to survive long enough to become real. The Taoists said it this way: those who know do not speak, those who speak do not know. Not a condemnation of communication, a recognition that depth and noise cannot occupy the same space, that the things most worth knowing are often the last things worth broadcasting. So what, specifically, should you never tell anyone? Number 1, your goals before they have roots. The research is clear. Announcing a goal tricks your brain into feeling like you've already achieved it. The applause comes early and kills the hunger that would have driven you to finish. Ancient Stoics called premature announcement vanity of the will. Keep your goals in the ground until they're strong enough to withstand someone else's doubt. Number 2, your next move. Strategy requires silence. Every general, every chess player, every person who has ever outmaneuvered a difficult situation knows this. When you announce your next step, you invite interference, conscious or not. People position themselves around your declared intentions. Keep your next move yours until it's already in motion. Number 3, your income and financial situation. Money changes how people see you. Always tell someone you're doing well, and watch subtle resentment take root in people you thought were your allies. Tell someone you're struggling, and watch the shift in how they value your presence. Your financial life is your private architecture. It shapes nothing about who you are, but it shapes everything about how others treat you once they know. Number 4, your family's private matters. The conflicts, struggles, and dynamics of your family belong to your family. The moment you air them to outsiders, even trusted friends, you hand those outsiders a lens they will never fully remove. They will see your mother, your partner, your sibling through the story you told them in a difficult moment. And that story may not be fair, may not be complete, and may not reflect who those people truly are. Number 5, your past wounds as a regular confession. There is enormous value in processing pain, but there is a crucial difference between healing and performing your damage. When your wounds become your primary social currency, the most interesting thing about you, the thing you lead with, the story you tell again and again, you stop healing and start inhabiting. The ancient philosophers were clear: you are not your history, you are what you choose to do next. Number 6, your spiritual or personal beliefs until trust is established. What you believe about life, meaning, purpose, and the universe is the most intimate territory you possess. Shared too early with the wrong person, it becomes ammunition, something to mock, challenge, or casually dismiss. The Stoics called these beliefs hegemonikon, the ruling faculty of the soul. Guard them. Share them only where they will be met with genuine curiosity or respect. Number 7, your fears and insecurities to people who haven't earned them. Vulnerability is powerful, but it is only powerful in the right container. Shared with someone safe, it deepens trust, builds intimacy, accelerates growth. Shared with the wrong person, it becomes a map of exactly where to hit you. Not everyone who asks how you're doing deserves the real answer. Discernment is not coldness, it is self-respect. Number 8, how much you've done for someone. The moment you say, "After everything I've done for you," you've converted generosity into debt collection. Real kindness doesn't keep receipts. The Stoics were explicit. Virtue is its own reward. Do good because it is right, not because it will be remembered, and certainly not as leverage. The person who announces their sacrifices has already corrupted them. Number 9, your complete opinion of someone to a mutual connection. What you truly think about a person is information. And in the wrong hands, even the hands of someone you trust, it travels. It gets softened, distorted, amplified. It comes back to the subject in a form you'd never recognize. If you must have a strong opinion about someone, keep it in your journal. Or tell it to your most private self, because the world is smaller than you think, and words move faster than you'd believe. Number 10, the best version of what you're becoming. This is the deepest one. When you're in the middle of a transformation, when you're quietly building something, changing something, becoming someone new, the last thing you need is an audience. Transformation is fragile in its early stages. It can't survive too much outside opinion, too much advice, too much comparison. Keep your becoming private until it's strong enough to stand in public without needing approval. Here's what changes when you begin to live by these 10 things. You stop bleeding energy into conversations that cost you more than they give. You stop handing your peace to people who don't know how to hold it. You stop shrinking under the weight of other people's reactions to your life. And something unexpected happens. You become magnetic. Because there is nothing more compelling than a person who clearly has interior life. They not desperate to share. A person with depth they haven't fully revealed. A person who listens more than they perform. A person who holds something back, not from shame, but from sovereignty. People trust the private person more than the broadcaster. They respect the one who doesn't need to be known by everyone. They are drawn to the one who seems to live from the inside out, rather than the outside in. Boethius, in that cold cell, found something that his accusers could never confiscate. A mind that no verdict could touch. A self that no exile could erase. That's what's available to you, not through loss, but through the quiet daily choice to protect what matters. The wisest people you will ever meet are not the most open. They are the most selective. They know the difference between connection and oversharing, between trust and performance, between vulnerability and exposure, between speaking because you have something to say and speaking because you're afraid of the silence. Your inner world is not a content feed. It is not a confession booth. It is not a performance space. It is the place where the real you lives, where your dreams are still fragile enough to need protection, where your wounds are still healing, where your next version is still forming in the dark, growing roots before it reaches for light. Guard it, not with fear, not with walls, but with the quiet, unshakable confidence of someone who knows what they have and doesn't need the world's permission to keep it. What you don't say is often the most powerful thing about you. If something in this list made you pause, if there's one thing you wish you'd known sooner, then this channel exists for you. Every week, we go deep into the wisdom that the greatest minds in history lived by and make it usable in your actual life today. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with one person you think is ready to hear it. Because the next videos is going to challenge something you've been freely giving away. Something far more valuable than money. Don't miss it.